Little Jimmy Harper giggled, eyes wide with wonder. A clown! At his birthday party. Jimmy's parents smiled, happy to see their son so thrilled. The clown, Buggy, was a sight to behold. His face was painted in a grotesque parody of a smile, a wide red gash stretching ear to ear. His eyes, ringed with thick black makeup, glinted strangely in the dim light of the community center. Buggy's performance was a whirlwind of slapstick and silliness. He made balloon animals, told terrible jokes, and even pulled a seemingly endless stream of colorful scarves from his sleeve. Jimmy and his friends were captivated, their laughter echoing through the room. But beneath the surface of merriment, a current of unease ran through the adults in the room. Something about Buggy's painted grin seemed off, his eyes holding a darkness that belied his jovial facade. As the party wound down, Jimmy's parents ushered the children towards the exit. Buggy waved goodbye, his smile wider than ever. Jimmy turned back for one last glimpse of the clown, his heart filled with a strange mixture of delight and dread, and in that moment, their eyes met. For a fleeting second, the smile on Buggy's face faltered, replaced by an expression of cold, calculating malice. Then, just as quickly, it was gone, replaced once more by the painted grin. Jimmy shivered, a sense of foreboding washing over him. For generations, rumors had circulated in hushed whispers, tales of a mysterious clown appearing seemingly out of thin air only to vanish just as quickly. He was a phantom, a boogeyman whispered about in the dead of night. Parents would caution their children, warning them to behave lest Buggy the clown come to steal them away. Some dismissed it as mere superstition, a ghost story meant to frighten children into obedience. But others knew the truth. They had seen the glint of madness in Buggy's eyes, the unsettling aura of wrongness that clung to him like a shroud. They knew that beneath the clown's garish makeup and outlandish costume lurked something truly sinister. Buggy's origins were shrouded in mystery. His name had long been forgotten, lost to the annals of time. But in his youth he was known as Bartholomew, a shy, awkward boy with a passion for making people laugh. He found solace in the world of clowning, transforming himself into a beacon of joy and laughter. He dreamed of bringing happiness to the world, of erasing the pain and sadness that seemed to permeate every corner of existence. But fate, it seemed, had other plans. Bartholomew's dreams were crushed by a cruel and unforgiving world. He was ridiculed for his appearance, his clumsiness, his very essence. His kindness was mistaken for weakness, his desire to entertain twisted into a source of mockery. The constant rejection, the relentless cruelty, chipped away at Bartholomew's sanity. Bartholomew shed his former identity, embracing the persona of Buggy the Clown. He crafted a costume that reflected the darkness that had consumed him, his once vibrant colors now muted and sinister. His makeup, once a source of amusement, became a grotesque mask, a testament to the twisted thoughts that now ruled his mind. And so began Buggy's reign of terror. He stalked the shadows, preying on the innocent, his laughter echoing in the nightmares of those unfortunate enough to cross his path. He took a perverse pleasure in their fear, their screams music to his ears. He became a collector of souls, each victim a grim trophy in his twisted game. Centuries passed and Buggy's legend grew. He became an urban legend, a cautionary tale whispered in hushed tones. The O'Connell house stood silent, shrouded in a blanket of grief. Just yesterday, it had been filled with the sounds of life, the laughter of children, the comforting aroma of baking bread, the gentle hum of conversation. Now an eerie stillness hung in the air, broken only by the muffled sobs emanating from within. 10-year-old Timmy O'Connell was gone, vanished without a trace. One minute he was playing in the front yard, his laughter echoing through the quiet suburban street. The next, he was gone, swallowed whole by the shadows that seemed to stretch longer with each passing hour. The police were baffled. There were no signs of a struggle, no witnesses, no ransom demands. It was as if Timmy had simply ceased to exist. The news of Timmy's disappearance spread through the town like wildfire, igniting a firestorm of fear and paranoia. Parents kept their children indoors, their eyes darting nervously at every shadow, every rustle of leaves. The once peaceful community was now gripped by an undercurrent of terror, the unseen threat of Buggy the Clown looming large over their lives. And then, the calling card arrived. a single blood-red balloon tied to the O'Connell's mailbox. It bobbed gently in the breeze, a macabre beacon of despair. There was no mistaking its message. Buggy had been here. He had taken Timmy, and he would not be returning. Days turned into nights, and still, there was no sign of Timmy O'Connell. Hope, once a flickering flame, dwindled with each passing hour, replaced by a numbing sense of dread. The town held its breath, united in grief and fear, as the nightmare of Buggy the Clown tightened its grip. The once vibrant community was now a shell of its former self. The streets were deserted, the playground stood empty, the laughter of children replaced by an eerie silence. The fear was palpable, a suffocating presence that permeated every aspect of their lives. The police, despite their best efforts, were no closer to finding Timmy or his abductor. Buggy had vanished once more, melting back into the shadows from whence he came. But they knew he would resurface. Detective Michael Harris stared at the map spread out on his desk, his brow furrowed in concentration. He had been working tirelessly on the O'Connell case, determined to bring Timmy home and bring Buggy to justice. But the trail was cold, the clues scattered and seemingly insignificant. He felt like he was chasing a ghost, his every step leading him further into the labyrinth of Buggy's madness. There had to be something he was missing, some connection, some pattern that would lead him to the clown's lair. Buggy had been terrorizing this town for centuries, which meant he had to have a base of operations, a place where he planned his attacks and sought refuge from the prying eyes of the world. Harris traced the locations of Buggy's previous victims on the map, his eyes searching for any commonality, any thread that would unravel the mystery. And then he saw it. A pattern, faint but undeniable. The old amusement park was a testament to forgotten dreams and faded glory. The Ferris wheel stood frozen in time, its rusted carriages creaking ominously in the wind. The once vibrant paint peeled from the walls of the funhouse, revealing the rotting timbers beneath. An air of decay and desolation hung heavy in the air, a tangible reminder of happier times long gone. Harris and his partner, Detective Sarah Jenkins, cautiously made their way through the park, their guns drawn, their senses on high alert. The silence was unnerving, broken only by the sound of their own footsteps and the distant cawing of crows. It was as if the park itself held its breath, waiting for them to stumble upon its dark secret. As they approached the derelict carousel, Harris noticed a faint humming sound emanating from beneath their feet. He knelt down and pressed his ear to the cold concrete. The air was thick with the stench of mildew and decay as Harris and Jenkins descended into the sewer system. The narrow tunnel was shrouded in darkness, their flashlights casting dancing shadows on the grimy walls. The humming grew louder, vibrating through the very soles of their feet. They rounded a bend and the tunnel opened into a large, cavernous chamber. In the center of the chamber, illuminated by a single flickering light bulb, stood a sight that sent chills down their spines. A makeshift stage, cobbled together from scrap wood and discarded circus props, dominated the space. And on that stage, his back to them, stood Buggy the Clown. He was even more grotesque up close. His costume, once vibrant, was now faded and stained, his makeup cracked and peeling, revealing the madness that lurked beneath. "Buggy," Harris called out, his voice echoing through the chamber. The clown froze, his humming abruptly ceasing. He turned slowly, his painted grin widening into a grotesque parody of a smile. In his hand, he held a familiar red balloon. Timmy's balloon. "Well, hello there, officers," Buggy rasped, his voice a chilling whisper that seemed to slither through the air. "Come to join the party?" Harris and Jenkins raised their guns, their fingers tightening around the triggers. But before they could react, Buggy tossed the balloon into the air. It floated upwards, dancing in the flickering light, a macabre beacon of despair. And then, with a puff of smoke and a chilling cackle, Buggy the Clown vanished, swallowed whole by the shadows.